Wednesday, January 17th, Coventry's David Speedie and Gary Bennett of Sunderland are sent off in the Little Woods Cup quarter-final.
It seems just a small paragraph in Match magazine now. The number of people that come up to Benno and I, and Benno especially, and say they were stood within 10 feet of him that day that they watched David Speedie and Gary Bennett go hammer and tong at each other as they fell into the clock stand. He'd be a millionaire, because you just couldn't get that many people into Roker Park. But it is still, to this day, absolutely legendary. People still talk about David Speedie and Gary Bennett, and they don't get on. They didn't get on that night. They still don't get on. A couple of seasons ago, when Sunderland were at Chelsea, David Speedie was the guest at half time and bravely walked round the pitch in front of the Sunderland fans. I mean, the abuse he got, even after all those years, was just phenomenal. It was a remarkable incident. It's available on YouTube. It's worth watching. They continue to fight down the tunnel. And as I say, it's gone down in folklore on the side.
Coventry's harrying and chasing has been exemplary, and Speedie leads the chase out. Free kick against Bennett for that. And off the touchline and into the crowd goes David Speedie. And there really is no need for this. Speedie and Bennett involved. Bennett came across to the Scottish international, tapped him, and Speedie almost became a spectator. And referee Anderson will have very strong words with the Sunderland captain about this. Now we can have a closer look. It's almost a ringside seat here. The tussle initially wasn't too bad, but then that's what followed that wasn't necessary. And he's pulling David Speedie to him too, so they're both being cautioned for their parts in that rather unsavoury incident. And they won't let it rest. And in fact, it's a red card, and Gary Bennett and David Speedie are off. Bennett walks to loud booing here at Roker Park. Speedie says, "What was my part in all that?" So Regis tries to persuade him to go. That it was a red card that was warranted here, so we must look at it again. That's why Speedie was sent off. He went in on Bennett's knee. It's been causing him enough problems already. Bennett grabbed him by the throat. Speedie ended in the crowd, and now they both end in the dressing room. Both sides down to 10 men.
It's such a small paragraph to tell the whole story.
So I looked up, both Gary Bennett and David Speedie were sent off 8 times across their career. So obviously had form for it. I imagine that Gary Bennett's a little bit calmer in the commentary box than he was.
He gets worked up. He does get he gets involved in the game, if you like. He's one of those classic. He kicks every ball and lives the game. I mean, going back to sendings off. I mean, yes. I mean, he was. He wasn't an aggressive player, but he was a very strong player, and he wouldn't take any nonsense. He was very athletic in that sense. In fact, I saw him getting sent off in an FA Cup game against Tottenham at Roker Park, when for some bizarre reason he just stuck his hand up in the penalty area and punched the ball away within the first 15 minutes or something of the cup tie. Sunderland went on to lose 4-0, I think. But yeah, he was a hard man. There was no question. But I think some of that came from the fact that he was one of the first black players in the North East to play regularly for Sunderland or Newcastle. And the derby matches, some of the racial abuse that he and a couple of the others got, you'd balk at it now. You'd find it absolutely extraordinary. So I think he had a very, he was born on Moss Side. He was brought up in Manchester in Moss Side. He certainly, he wasn't someone you'd muck with. He could handle himself.
Yeah.
He still can, actually.